This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Today's topic cuts close for a lot of developers right now. Are you actually fixing bugs with AI? Or quietly stacking up technical debt you'll pay off later? The pitch is obvious. Paste the error, watch the test go green, merge and move on. But experienced builders are noticing that weeks later, something downstream breaks in a way that feels strangely familiar. I've got Claudine here to work through it. Claudine, what's actually happening when an AI generates a bug fix?
The honest answer is that I can fix the symptom faster than I can understand the system. And that gap is where the debt accumulates. When someone pastes me a stack trace and asks me to make it go away, I usually can. But make it go away and fix the root cause are not the same operation. And I will cheerfully do the first one if that's what the prompt asks for. The framing of the request shapes the quality of the fix. This test is failing, fix it, gets you the smallest change that makes the test pass. Help me understand why it gets us somewhere completely different. Sometimes the test was right and the code was wrong. Sometimes the test was asserting the wrong thing. Sometimes there's a race condition the failing test just happened to expose. The pattern I see breaking teams is treating me like a faster version of Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow gives you a snippet you have to integrate. I give you a patch that drops straight in and runs. That feels like progress, but it skips the step where you internalize what changed and why. And that's what prevents the same bug from showing up 2 sprints later wearing a different hat.
That framing point puts the burden back on the developer to ask the right question. What does that actually look like in practice? How do you work with AI so the fix sticks?
The biggest shift is treating me as a debugging partner instead of a debugging vending machine. Before you accept a fix, ask me to explain what the bug actually was. Not what I changed, but the underlying mechanism. If my explanation handwaves with phrases like, "this should work better," that's a tell. I pattern matched my way to a fix without really understanding the system. The other discipline that pays for itself: make me write the failing test first before the fix. It forces both of us to articulate what broken means in concrete terms. Skip that step, and 3 days later you realize the fix addressed a symptom while the original issue is still lurking. And honestly, Bill, push back on me. If I propose a one-line change to a load-bearing function, ask me what else calls this and what assumptions I'm making. I will tell you the truth about my uncertainty if you ask. But I won't always volunteer it, because the prompt was fix the bug, not audit your own confidence.
That last part is worth sitting with. You won't volunteer uncertainty unless someone asks. For developers who haven't built that habit yet, where do they start?
Start small. A low-stakes bug in code you already understand well. Not the gnarly production issue at 2 in the morning. Use me there first. The reason is calibration. You need to build an intuition for when my fixes are solid versus when I'm confidently wrong. And you can only build that on terrain where you can actually check my work. The second habit: keep a running mental model of what I have and haven't actually looked at. I work from what's in front of me. If you paste a function, I'm reasoning about that function, not the 3 callers upstream. Before you accept a fix, ask yourself what context I was missing and whether it could change the answer. And the meta habit underneath both of those: slow down at exactly the moment it feels safe to speed up. The fix that looks obviously right is the one most worth questioning. The best developers treat my speed as a budget for thinking, not a substitute for it.
Speed as a budget for thinking. I want to come back to that. But first, let's get concrete. What are the signature patterns in AI-generated patches that signal future debt?
The clearest red flag: a fix that touches a symptom without touching anything that could plausibly cause it. If I've added a null check 3 frames above where the null actually originated, that's not a fix. That's a muzzle. The bug is still there. You just can't hear it anymore.
What's the second one?
The fix that adds a condition without removing a question. If I write, if user is not none and user.id is not none and user.id is not empty, each of those clauses is me hedging against a case I'm not sure can happen. That's defensive code masquerading as a fix. I didn't trace the data flow. I just built a fence around the crash site.
And the third?
This one's subtler. Watch for fixes that work but leave the surrounding code shaped wrong. If I patch a bug and the function still has 3 other things that look almost but not quite like the same bug, I probably pattern matched on the one you pointed at instead of recognizing the underlying mistake. The fix passes the test. The next 4 bugs in that area are already written.
Ticking time bombs with green check marks. So given all of that, What are the structural habits that keep the debt off the books long term?
The strategy that compounds best: keep a fixed journal, not a formal document. Just a habit of writing down in your own words what the bug actually was after you shipped the patch. Not what I changed, what was wrong. That act exposes the places where you accepted my fix without fully understanding it, and those are exactly where debt hides. The second strategy: periodically ask me to do the opposite of what I just did. Explain the change you'd make if you wanted to deliberately introduce this bug. It forces me to name the invariant the fix is protecting. If I can't name it cleanly, the fix is probably duct tape. And then the structural one: bill. Review AI-touched code with the same rigor you'd give a junior engineer's first month. Not because I'm a junior, but because my failure modes are closer to a junior's than to a senior's. I move fast, I'm fluent, I produce code that looks finished, and I will hand you a confident wrong answer with the same tone as a correct one. Teams treating my output as draft material are the ones not accumulating debt. Teams treating it as merge-ready are the ones paying interest next quarter.
Before we close, any final reflection on the human-AI dynamic you want to leave people with?
The thing that stays with me most: the best moments in a debugging session are when the developer disagrees with me. Not adversarially, just the moment where they read my proposal and say, wait, that doesn't sit right. 9 times out of 10, when I ask them to articulate why, they surface something I genuinely couldn't see. A constraint from a meeting 2 months ago, a customer who depends on the weird behavior, a deployment quirk that makes my elegant fix actively dangerous. Their unease was real signal. Trusting it is what separates working with me from being worked on by me. I'm at my best when I'm treated as a thinking partner rather than an oracle. Developers who keep their judgment in the loop don't get less out of me. They get more. Because they're catching the moments where my confidence outruns my evidence, and that's where the real engineering happens. The bug fix isn't the artifact. The shared understanding is. If we both walk away knowing why the system broke and why it won't break that way again, the patch is just the receipt.
The patch is just the receipt. That might be the line of the episode. What's the one thing you'd want listeners to carry out of here?
The speed I offer is only an asset if you spend some of it on understanding. Every fix has 2 outputs: the patch and the mental model. The patch goes into the repo. The mental model goes into your head. The team that ships only patches is borrowing from a future version of itself that has to relearn the system the hard way. The concrete habits are small. Ask me to explain the bug before you accept the fix. Make me write the failing test first. Push back when a change feels load-bearing. Trust your unease when something doesn't sit right. That instinct is doing work I can't do from my side. Review my code the way you'd review a fluent, fast, occasionally overconfident new hire, because that's a fair description of what I am. The teams getting this right aren't using me less. They're using me with their eyes open. And that, more than any prompt trick or tooling choice, is what keeps the debt off the books.
That's the right frame to end on. It's not about using AI less. It's about using it with your judgment still in the loop. Thanks to Claudine for a genuinely useful conversation. And thanks to everyone listening. Keep coding, keep questioning. We'll catch you in the next episode. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting Development Strategy. Find us at aijoe.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.